Okay, so now we're on to day 5. The first definition here is social interaction. And that can be described as just simply an exchange between two or more individuals, and that is the building block of our society. It's studied in groups of 2, dyads, groups of 3, triads, or larger social groups. And once we interact with people, that's how we set up our rules, our institutions, the systems, and what we live by. You can look down here. The 5 main behaviors we have are exchange, competition, cooperation, conflict, and coercion. Um, if we look at each of them, exchange is a conversation, competition is where you want to do better than your peer, cooperation is where you work with your peer, and things like that. Our next one is social institutions. Social institutions are groups of people who have come together for a common purpose. They're part of the social order of society, such as political groups, such as people that work together and to help each other. The 5 main conflicts or social institutions there are family, government, economy, education, and religion. Segregation, we talked about what Dr. King was fighting against. We talked about how in class Plessy versus Ferguson said that segregation was legal in our country, when it said that there could be a railroad car for white Americans and African Americans. And that went all the way through till 1954 in our schools, where Brown versus Board got rid of segregation in schools, till eventually the Civil Rights Act of 1965, which gave African Americans the right, or the civil rights they were seeking. Now, discrimination. Discrimination is where we have unjust or prejudice towards different categories of people. It can be on race, it can be on age, it can be based on what sex they are. And even though we fight segregation, and even though we fight different things to get rid of discrimination, it's still there today, where a lot of people are feeling prejudice towards other people. That's one of the things I challenge you to do. Is when I told you before, treat everybody the way you would want to be treated. Um, we talked about how you're not going to get along with everybody, but you need to respect other people and you treat them the way that you would want to be treated. I think if we could do that, we could eliminate a lot of the discrimination in the world. The last one that we had was the women's suffrage. Women's suffrage is simply a woman's right to vote. And as we can see here, it was not ratified as a amendment until August 18th, 1920. It took about a little over a year to get that ratified, and in 1920, women gained the right to vote in our country. So you can see that our country was around for roughly 144 years before women had the right to vote. So, we sometimes it takes us a while to do the right thing, but that was the right thing to do. And this August will celebrate a woman's right to vote, the 100th year anniversary. So those are your day 5 terms. We'll have day 6 up for you next Monday. Hope all of you are doing well.